Hi, and welcome back to the Pop-Up Podcast here at When Words Collide 2025. I'm your host, Lucas, and with me is...
Peter Mien.
Hi, Peter. Thanks for sitting with me today. How are you?
I'm good. I'm enjoying the conference very much.
Fantastic. It's absolutely a fun time. We're on the final day, the Sunday, as of this recording. And have you been going around seeing some of the fun panels and workshops that have been happening?
I've basically been able to find almost every hour I've found something that I really want to see. Sometimes there's two, and I have to make a choice.
Amazing. That's great. So what's been your favorite thing so far?
Well, I'm looking at improving the craft of writing, so I've got some pretty good tips. The marketing side, of course, is always a little more difficult, but even there, I think there's something at least to try out. I mean, some things work for some people and not for others, so we'll see.
All right, nice. And you yourself are a writer?
That's right. I've written a couple of books. They mostly deal with, for whatever reason, Southern Europe. One of them's a romantic, historical romance mystery set in Francoist Spain. It's called Return to Pamplona. And then another one is a mashup between a travelogue and a thriller. In Albania.
Ooh.
So that weekend in Albania. So
very nice.
I'm moving on to a memoir. I'm not really sticking with one particular genre here. I'm trying to try all of them. So,
broaden the horizons.
Yeah, the spice of life and all that.
Absolutely. That's very cool. And when you are writing, is there a typical genre or style you usually find yourself kind of falling towards?
Well, I have to say I like mystery with a certain amount of thriller aspect to it, but even when I'm reading, most good stories involve some kind of a romantic side, It's always two people.
Yeah.
The story behind them and everything else is kind of ancillary to that. Maybe it may even be more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
In the story about Pamplona, Franco's, regime and the legacy that left behind really affects these two people. Matter of fact, one disappears, and so it's kind of a quest, lover's quest.
Yeah.
But in every story, there's always some element like that. So
yeah.
I think I'd say, men and women or men and men or whatever they find an attraction to one another, that usually forms a good background for stories.
Very cool. And what was it that kind of got you into writing in the first place?
I've always liked reading, even since I was a little kid. And I would quite often make up stories for my kids. I wouldn't necessarily read them bedtime stories. I'd make them up, and then the next night they'd want to know, well, so what happened to the cheesy man or whatever the main character was?
Yeah.
And quite often I would have forgotten, that one, or the White Dracula, or some other weird thing that you just sort of string of consciousness. But I realized, well, if you really want to do something that particularly they might remember, is try and write something that deals something with something that they may find, in their lives or in your life from experience. So.
Very cool. And so here at When Words Collide, you have a brand new book that has recently come out. Yeah. Well, what's the scoop on that?
Well, it started off doing well with the book launch, but trying to keep it going is a little bit of an issue.
Yeah.
What I find though is because it's about Francoist Spain, which was after the Second World War up to his legacy still exists. Nobody even knows who he is. I was even people my age, which I found surprising because it used to be a big cause célèbre, evil versus good, fascist versus democracy.
Yeah.
I mean, George Orwell wrote a lot about it. Mm-hmm. He wrote 1984, which most people know. But honestly, that's I guess you could call it a good book, but it's really kind of, it's so depressing.
It's a very dreary book, yes.
But he has another book, Animal Farm.
Yes.
Which is an amazing... it's not that dissimilar.
Not at all.
Ways, except it's through the eyes of animals, and it's shorter, and it gets the message across, about the evils of socialism or communism, Of course, the fascists are just as bad. Any kind of dictatorships where everyone's is being told what to do, and people lack freedoms.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of what this story is about.
Yeah.
How dictatorship affects people, everyday lives. I mean, lives are totally destroyed by it, and you know, even the legacy of that continues for a long time afterwards. And in that other book, that weekend in Albania, the same thing happened there, where they had a dictator. He's long gone, but the people can't get over it. You know, when you meet them, their characters are influenced by it, and you know, they're always very suspicious. I mean, you still see that a lot in Eastern Europe now, and probably in Ukraine is probably one of the best examples, where a lot of the people are totally subdued or have been castigated by the fact that Russia's there and they're going to come and get them, and you know, they're afraid. Even their doors in houses are like 2 or 3 inches thick. So it gives you you know, what's going on here. You know, it's not the nicest way to live.
No, sure. And that kind of evil takes root, right? And it stays there. Yeah, exactly. And you were talking about kind of the inspiration before, but when it comes to stories like this, like you talked about fascism and dictatorships, would you say it's kind of a drive to just get more conversation out there regarding the impact this kind of thing can have that drives its inclusion in your work?
Absolutely. I mean, I can think of a particular country right now that's having some issues with someone who's telling them what to do and crossing all the lines, and it's quite illegal. But people aren't aware of how these things start out and how they develop. You know, you could argue that, well, everyone has good intentions, and power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, as George Orwell said. So, you know, even in the everyday things that you do or read about. It's good to know where that might eventually lead, unless you take a stand or you know, put your foot down and say, oh, okay, enough of that. I just don't go for that. So.
Well, that's all fantastic. And this new book that we just touched on, what's the name?
What is the name? It's Return to Pamplona. The reason I hesitated there, because I had a number of different titles, and finally I took one, but every once in a while I still slip back, you know, the previous title. Which just, it didn't quite do the trick. So. Pamplona is an important city in Spain. Everyone's heard about the running of the bulls there.
Yes.
But it's right near the French border, where refugees during Franco's dictatorship would try and get across the border. But it's also an extremely beautiful city to go there now. It's fairly small. Full of history and very romantic. And of course that sort of brings back the whole romance aspect of the story. So.
Awesome. And with this new book, are you hoping to kind of get more eyes on the stories you're trying to tell, like the ones you said, set in Spain and dealing with dictatorship, that kind of thing, trying to get more eyes on it to hopefully spark, you know, some new conversation?
Absolutely. I mean, Spain, in the long game, Spain still needs to deal with its past. It really hasn't. They have all sorts of people who disappeared during that time. They're finding mass graves. Children were abducted, and it was a country where a lot of that, a lot of those ill treatments or bad things that happened were then taken over by other countries. Like in South America, a lot of the dictators mimicked that. Or, you know, everybody hears about the disappeared even in Canada. You know, those sorts of things can't just stay there. No one does anything about them. No, we need to stop that kind of thing. We really need to make an effort to make sure that, you know, that doesn't happen again. I mean, we need to have our freedoms. I mean, really is what it. And someone telling you what to do, eventually they'll kill you if you don't. You know, the worst case scenario is if you don't shut up. Well, you know, you can't express your own ideas. So it's an important point, I think, and. I mean, I do find it interesting, and even with my own kids, they get kind of tired of me talking about this now. But actually, since they've read the stories, they finally did. I mean, it took a while. But, I think they appreciated a little bit more what I was getting at, so the other people too.
Yeah. Well, that's all amazing. I think, props to you for getting those stories out there and putting pen to paper and showcasing these, very important societal issues that have taken root all throughout history and should be discussed in depth. And for anyone out there listening who wants to read this new book and the other works that you have produced, where could they find them?
Well, I do have a website, https://www.petermeehan.ca. So the books are there. You can buy them there. You can get them on Amazon. Both of them are there, either Return to Pamplona or That Weekend in Albania. And if people do read them, I'd really appreciate a review.
Yeah.
And you don't have to buy the book. You can get the what is it called? The digital version.
Oh, digital, yes. Digital download.
And in Amazon, of course, you can actually read some of the pages just to see what
preview,
it's the sort of thing that
Fantastic. And if anyone was trying to find you specifically, do you have any social media or presence?
Yes, there? I've got an author page on Amazon. I have the usual Facebook account, Instagram. Well, I've got a bunch of other things too. I guess the website kind of leads on to everything else. But
awesome.
But any of those titles will sort of bring there's all the references you can find there.
Yeah, so. Bring it back around.
Exactly.
Well, fantastic. Well, Peter, that's all absolutely incredible. Yeah, please go check out Peter's work, old and new, and like you said, give it a review, check it out. Some really important stuff in there that we should be talking about, and we'll continue to, thanks to work like that from Peter. So thank you so much, Peter, for speaking with me. This has been fantastic.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity.